Okay, this video was meant to be out a few weeks ago, partly for the sweet YouTube clicks, but mostly because the script was done. I just needed to record it, chop up the footage, and edit it all together. But then while watching Lily Orchard struggle with that Ice Wolf Heartless in Kingdom Hearts, my car caught fire. Don't believe me? This year sucks. Don't worry, no one was hurt, the insurance paid out, and I got a new car. I commend the fire brigade for their quick response and thank the police for looking into it. But let's stop talking about depressing stuff. This special begins with the Rainbooms on a boat. Guess who asked for a raise?
I think I may have forgotten to pack my sea legs.
Rainbow Dash says Twilight chose a good battle location, imagining a monster from Equestria attacking the boat before they swoop in and save the day. When the boat's already sinking. If they're out at sea and the boat starts sinking, haven't they already lost even if they're now friends with the monster? Then again, isn't this a yacht?
A GPS alert! We're in international waters! Tax-free shopping!
Doesn't the boat still come under the laws and taxes of... What is the land called? I mean, the ponies are from Equestria, so are the humans from... Homotopia?
Honey walnut crisps, candy-coated cupcakes, banana sorbet delight.
On a long enough timeline, everything gets Oreos, 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 Oreos.
Excusez-moi, mademoiselle. How about one fresh from the oven?
Would you like some cultural offence with your cake? Rainbow Dash then arrives and destroys the cake, thinking it's equestrian magic. I think. Which gets her and Pinky kicked out of the buffet. Wait, why did Pinky get kicked out?
A goat on a boat?
Wherever Fluttershy goes, a petting zoo follows. The cinema, there's a petting zoo. Shopping mall, there's a petting zoo. Gynecologist, there's a petting zoo. Be gentle with the beavers. Rainbow Dash comes in and starts talking about evil magic. This whole bit makes it seem like she's off her meds. Maybe she should calm down, go to the dining hall and have some liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Penny for your thoughts, miss.
Oh, you can't afford my thoughts.
Pip pip tally-ho, he kinda looks like Applejack. I wonder if this is DHX responding to people shipping Applejack and Rarity in Roller Coaster of Friendship. I'm guessing I wasn't the only one. I mean, it's not unheard of for them to do stuff based on fan reaction. When an animation error became the early fandom's mascot, they put the character front and centre in an episode. A villain became a fan favourite character, so they reformed him and made him reoccurring. A character they designed to be popular was unpopular, so they forced her in the show even more to make the fans like her. Even made her the hero in a few episodes. But the thing is, no matter how much you or I or they want a ship to be canon, they still need to get approval from Hasbro. Next, the Rainbooms are setting up... Is there anywhere they won't play? I've got tickets to see Elton John next year. I'm half expecting one of the support acts to be the Rainbooms. Pinky, Fluttershy and Applejack tell Sunset and Twilight about the problems they've been having with Rainbow Dash. Getting them kicked out of places and all. So Sunset takes her aside.
Twilight worked really hard to plan this trip for all of us.
She seems to have turned into the group mum. It's good that they've moved her away from being the second Twilight. But group mum? I mean, the reason she stayed in the human world was to learn about friendship. And I don't think 4 films, 3 specials and a mini-series is enough time to do that. I know there's the shorts, but I don't consider them. Partly because I can't keep up with them, but also because they're the equivalent of Angela Anaconda. Only a fuck-ton less nightmare-inducing. That night they play their music, and Rainbow Dash decides to use her pony magic in the show.
Excuse me! We're just ordinary girls who have saved the world from complete destruction multiple times!
Not really. First time you stopped Sunset Shimmer from invading another dimension with a teenage zombie army. The second time it was mermaids wanting food. After that you saved a camp from its owner. Then you stopped Lady Gaga from trapping you in a mirror. Then you saved your memories of Sunset Shimmer and her memories of being in the human world. And finally, you stopped a crazed YouTuber. Technically, you've saved the world once. And it was when Twilight was going to collapse the human and pony universes together. So really, like someone in an SUV, you're the real danger. Although I'm curious how Sunset Shimmer sees herself. Does she still see herself as a pony from Equestria, or does she now identify as a human? Rainbow Dash says they're ordinary girls, but Sunset's a pony who just lives in the human world. I made a video years ago about Cora Harper back when I was going to make Mass Effect content. You see, in the game, she's a human biotic who trained as an Asari commando. She also seemed to know more about Asari culture than what seemed common for non-Asari. Contrasted to PB, who was an Asari who seemed to have little to no interest in Asari culture or people, even actively distancing herself from Dr. Lexi. Which got me questioning if Cora identified as an Asari rather than a human. Of course, I never put the video out because EA abandoned the game and shut down the studio that made it. But I could ask those same questions with Sunset Shimmer. Because there's a portal to Equestria that she could go through at any moment to see her old friends, her family, Celestia, and come back again. But we never see her do that. Why? I kind of wonder if Sunset doesn't go back to Equestria regularly because she sees herself more as a human from this world than a pony from there. Much in the same way someone can identify as a gender, race or nationality other than the one they were assigned at birth. I know they'll never explore it more, although if they did, the conclusion would likely be, friendship is awesome, but it's fun to speculate. The next day, I think.
No one's blaming you for wanting to give us a normal spring break. We'd be having one if it weren't for me. I brought magic to this world in the first place.
None of you would even be friends if you hadn't brought magic to this world. I mean, you were the school bully that Celestia didn't seem to want to do anything about, and you'd driven the rest of them apart. And of course, Twilight was at Crystal Prep and likely would have gone into that self-study thing.
I wouldn't trade you for anything in the world. In any world.
Aw, same here.
Ship. Twilight and Sunset go looking for Rainbow Dash, but see that one of the lifeboats has gone missing. Thinking Rainbow Dash has left the ship to go after a light she saw earlier, Twilight and Sunset decide to hop on a boat and go after her. In a storm. While the rest of the Rainbooms do what the crew should be doing. God blimey, we're just cruise people. We're not trained mechanics or know what to do in an emergency. I just know river dance, so I do. Where's the captain in all this? Anyway, they make it onto the island and they find Rainbow Dash stuck in quicksand. You'd have thought that of all the Rainbooms, she'd be the one who knows how to get out of it. Rainbow Dash says there's no equestrian magic, just as she's about to be eaten by a plant monster. Sunset finds a portal in the quicksand. So how is the quicksand not just pouring through to the other side?
See you soon!
Where are we? Not about to get eaten.
Good enough for me.
It's more complicated than that.
My little pony, my little pony. Although, how did Sunset know there wasn't another plant monster on the other side?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Because we're ponies!
New meme! Perfect to go with.
I'm Pancake. Because we're ponies!
Coming to a shitty, overpriced t-shirt never.
Because we're ponies!
So yeah, Sunset, Twilight and Rainbow Dash are in Equestria. Just like the trailer promised. And it only took 30 minutes of Rainbow Dash being a jerk to get there. Why was this the thing they focused on in the trailer? I mean, there's only 10 minutes of this left and it keeps bouncing back between this and the rest of the Rainbooms on the boat, in a storm, in the human world. I know I only saw one trailer, and it was that PonyCon one, but the human characters going to the pony world would have made a good story on its own. And after seeing the trailer, I was looking forward to it. The only explanation I can think of is that they didn't have confidence in what they'd written, and so added the Equestria bit because Pony Sci-Twi makes for better trailer fuel than jerk Rainbow Dash. Which seems to be what most of this special is. Anyway, after making their way through Ponyville, they meet up with Princess Twilight.
Wait, how are you coming in the front door and not up from where I keep the mirror? You found another portal between our worlds!
We then cut back to the Rainbooms crashing the ship. How is the ship sinking? That gash is way above the water line. How is the boat going down stern first? It was the bow that hit the rocks. And if someone says the ship might have sunk onto rocks, why didn't they close the watertight compartments when the power went out? I mean, isn't that standard procedure in case of leaks or damage to the hull, so it's contained? And where's the captain? Their ship's going down! Princess Twilight tells Twilight, Sunset and Rainbow Dash about her adventures.
You ponies are like superheroes. Oh, we're not superheroes. Sure, just ordinary ponies who save the world from complete destruction multiple times.
I would make fun of that, but Cutie Remark showed us that they have saved the world multiple times. Apart from when they stopped Nightmare Moon, her kingdom seemed stable, so they may have doomed them all. Swings and roundabouts?
Here's a good one. This is from our battle with the Storm King. He stole our magic and used it to create the most powerful storm in Equestria.
Yeah, because that's just what I want in Equestria, girls. A reminder of that lousy My Little Pony movie 2017. Hey Hasbro, remember when you copyrighted my review on it, and I counterclaimed it and won because it was covered under fair use? And then you kept reclaiming it until I'd have to see you in court in order for my video to be shown. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Rainbow Dash recognises the Storm King's symbol from the light she saw earlier, and Princess Twilight thinks that some of his magic ended up in the human world. Somehow. So they race back to seal the Storm King's magic away and save their friends. Only the ship's already sinking, so they lost. The Rainbooms pony up, and they still have the life jackets. I know why, but they look silly.
I'll make a new lifeboat. I'll help.
Can't you see I'm helping? Wow, she really is helping. And how can that cake resist two people pulling on it, but can still be eaten? And Fluttershy is seriously putting life jackets on all the animals. Sunset finds a girl crying, and using her Deanna Troi powers sees that she lost her mum. No shit, Sherlock. Also, her memories remind me of that bit in Star Trek Generations where all the kids were standing around while everyone was evacuating the Star Drive section. And then Geordi turned up and got them to the saucer section before the ship blew up with the girl's teddy bear. Or maybe the Rainboom saved it. Well, they get everyone off just as the ship goes down. They're gonna need to wash a fuck ton of cars to pay that off. How is she not very ill from eating seawater?
Well, I suppose this is goodbye.
Goodbye? You're both stuck on the same desert island, you fud. And that summer breakdown. This was really disappointing. I mean, I was excited when I first watched the trailer and saw Human Twilight as a pony because I thought, oh good, the Rainbooms are about to go on an adventure in Equestria. But what we got was Rainbow Dash being a jerk. Which, like I said, makes it seem like they didn't have confidence in what they'd written and did the Equestria bit in order to get people hyped. For a TV special that most people will watch online. This also seems to commit a recent sin where, to make the characters they want to look good look better, they make everyone else incompetent. Or at least I've heard The Last Jedi did it. I haven't seen it since The Force Awakens was A New Hope again, and Battlefront EA 2 was a gambling game, so I didn't want to give Disney my money. But I did hear there was a fight where an enemy's lightsaber disappeared when they could have stabbed Rey in the back. Those sorts of things pull me out of the experience. I know people who work on cruise ships are given lectures, safety classes, and demonstrations on what to do in the event of an emergency. And in this, instead of following those things, they all just seem to stand around while the band does everything. Even the engineers, who are meant to be engineers, don't seem to do anything. Not only that, but the ship sinks and the captain is nowhere to be seen. So, how would I make it better? Well, first off, make a captain. I know this is a cruise liner, but it should have a captain who takes charge of the situation when the power goes. Heck, age Ragamuffin up a bit and make him the captain. And then make the crew competent. If you need to have one of the Rainbooms in engineering, then have Applejack say, My family runs a farm if y'all need an extra pair of hands. To an engineer, and then they take her down below with them. Speaking of Applejack, use her seasickness to make Rainbow Dash better. Throughout watching this, I wanted to say, shut up, Rainbow Dash, because she is just being a jerk. Whereas, if you had it at the start, with each of them saying what they're doing, like Twilight says there's a library, Rarity says there's a spa, Fluttershy says there's a petting zoo, and so on, then when Rainbow Dash says there's an arcade on board, reveal Applejack is seasick. Because the pair of them are competitive. So I'd imagine they'd want to beat each other at air hockey. At least until Applejack has to meet up with Rarity for a romantic meal together. But if she's ill, then Rainbow Dash would have to find something else to do, so she tries the other things until the Storm King's magic appears. You might have thought I'd say more focus on Equestria, but I'm going to say take that out and save it for when you can do it justice.
Because